What is going on, everybody out there? Lamont on the run. And today, well, I got some bad news. I got some bad news for all the black folks out there listening to their 97th favorite white YouTuber, which is me. Got some bad news for you guys. The death that just occurred in Mississippi the other day on the 15th of September, it's looking right now like it's not the racist lynching murder that you guys have been so desperately seeking for like the last 65 some odd years. Black folks keep looking for that lynching and they just cannot find it. Let me explain. So just the other day, we go to Delta University and a 21-year-old student, his name is Trevon Reed, and he was found, sadly, hanging from a tree in front of the university. Now, of course, anytime you hear a story about a black man found hanging in a tree, it automatically brings up memories of lynchings that did occur in this country a long time ago. Now, this man, his friends and family, they're saying that he had no signs of him wanting to take his own life, and there was no history of mental illness. I mean, he was only 21 years of age. I mean, just a kid, really, when you look at it. So the Bolivar County Coroner's Office, I don't believe they have done an autopsy to really see what took place, but based on their preliminary report, they're basically saying they don't see any fractures, any broken bones, any lacerations, any kind of bruising, anything that is indicative of an assault. There's nothing that they can see that would look like that has taken place. No fights, nothing like that. So the FBI field office in Mississippi has, looks like they're possibly taking over the investigation. So they shipped the body from the Bolivar County Coroner's Office up to the Mississippi Crime Lab. So this is getting a little bit serious. So we're going to kind of see what happens and what takes place. So I know a lot of black folks out there, they're really crossing their fingers and they're hoping that this is a lynching. Okay, I would say that I would be praying along with you guys, but I don't really think that way. And what made this story, catch my eye was that a second body was found hanging from a tree up in Vicksburg by the Ameristar Casino. And then black people, when they first heard that there was a second body up in a tree, they said, oh boy, like the Mississippi Black Caucus, they started getting really moist down there, right? They started twerking up a storm because they were like, yes, thank God he's heard our prayers. This is the lynchings that we need to prove that racism is alive more than ever. Unfortunately, guys, got some bad news for you. Well, the man in the tree, he was not black. He was actually a white guy.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. There's going to be a lot of sad people out there. Very sad that the guy, unfortunately, was white. But Corey Zukatis, sorry if I mispronounce his name, history of drug abuse, homelessness, stuff like that. So when they found out that he was white, the Black Caucus, they quickly took a step back. But, somebody taking their own life, it's always tragic nonetheless. It's always a bad thing. I trust me, I don't root for people's downfalls unless you deserve it. Unless you're just like ultimately a scumbag And but this story reminds me of 21-year-old truck driver Javion McGee. Does anybody remember that guy? Javion McGee. He actually was found hanging in a tree. What was it? September 10th of last year? September 11th? I think he hung himself on September 10th, and he was found the next day on September 11th. So he was a 21-year-old truck driver. So he was basically following the footsteps of his dad, who's also a truck driver. At the time, he was living up in Illinois, and he had a route where he was delivering something to, I want to say he might have been delivering to a Walmart in Henderson, North Carolina, down in Vance County. Is that what it was? Vance County. And they found him in a tree. And, the black folks in North Carolina, they started getting really, really horny because they really wanted this to be a lynching. A good old-fashioned Ku Klux Klan lynching. Unfortunately, it looked like when they first found them that they weren't going to get their wish because Javion was found seated with himself hanging from a tree. So he basically just kind of sat down and, let himself get choked out and then sadly died. And again, the family is, they're saying, he wasn't sad. He didn't want to kill himself or anything like that. This is obviously a lynching, and we want answers. And unfortunately, back in the old days, when there was a lynching, they would hang somebody in a tree. They wouldn't tell them to sit down and kind of choke themselves out. Now, the family of Mr. Reed, the last person to hang themselves in a tree, they have retained the services of one of my favorite men in the entire country, and that is Mr. Ben Crump. I like Ben Crump, and I tell you why. Because he is unapologetically who he is. All he does is chase fake racist stories. Stories of fake racism. And sometimes he chases stories of real racism. But they're usually fake and they're trumped up, and he's just like a race grifter attorney, but at least, he accepts who he is. Right? He says, you know what? I am what I am. It's kind of like Popeye the Sailor Man. So Ben Crump, he basically, said that the family needs closure. We need this story to be investigated. Mr. Reed was a young man that was very well loved and respected by the community and the students at Delta University. And we need answers. We need answers. So hopefully the family gets the answers that they need. Hopefully they get the answer of a good old-fashioned lynching. I mean, I don't know. I usually don't root for murder. I know I make my living off of the sadness of others. And I admit it. I don't shy, I don't shy my way around it. It is what it is. But, hopefully, as I get closer and closer to the South, we'll be covering some of these fake stories on the other channel, possibly. There's a fake story. You guys already know who I'm talking about. I think his name is Kendrick Jackson or Kendrick Johnson. I always get those names mixed up. He's a kid that was found rolled up in that mat at that school. That's another fake lynching. So definitely going to be talking about that as we get closer and closer and discover what's going on over here. Hopefully, my video is not too disrespectful. I guess we'll figure it out and we'll see. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch up with you on the next video. Peace out.